Live service games are dying left and right, and even worse, their failures are killing studios and putting talented developers out onto the streets. It seems every day now that there's some bad news circulating around. Marathon's peak number of players on Steam are dropping each and every day, and that's considering the game's initial numbers weren't that high in the first place for a game with such a massive budget. Battlefield developers are getting laid off despite the game being successful, but you see, EA's executives need a bonus on their paychecks to buy their dogs a summer kennel that's bigger than my garage. So let's try to be a little bit more understanding here, guys. And then there's the bad news about Highguard going offline. Yeah, they finally pulled the plug on that game. You can't play it anymore. Wait, did I say that was bad news? Highguard was a game you couldn't even give away to people for free because even for the low price of $0, people still felt that they were owed a refund for even playing it. Meanwhile, we have games like Resident Evil 9 out here making headlines for simply being a good game and catering to its fan base. It's a product that gamers want and gamers voted with their wallets because Resident Evil Requiem sold over 5 million units in under a week. And to top it off, it even earned a spot as the highest rated game on Metacritic. Okay, well, that's just the user reviews, but honestly, who are you gonna side with here? People who actually pay for and play the games, or the people who have an incentive to ignore every bad thing about a game so that they stay in their inner industry circles? I mean, I still remember how many people misrepresented Cyberpunk 2077 when that came out, and pretended that it wasn't a buggy, half-finished mess. And I'm not naming anyone, I'm just posting this unrelated screenshot of a YouTuber. But back to the point, Resident Evil 9 was the middle finger the industry needed to show that going the route of live service games isn't necessary to turn a profit. We don't all need overpriced microtransactions shoved in our faces, or battle passes that require no life status grinding to even progress. If I'm gonna put no life status into grinding anything, it's gonna be me grinding these Korean dating simulator girl routes to 100% and then getting the secret unlockable picture of my favorite girl and saving that as the wallpaper on my cell phone, so I can always keep it close to me. But I digress. The industry is starting to learn that gamers aren't just gonna take anything that they throw at us. We vote for our wallets, and that goes for buying anything that we like and avoiding the predatory slop out there that wants to manipulate us at every turn and bleed us dry. Take one look at Marathon and tell me that a Bungie fan actually asked for this. I don't even like Destiny, but I'd have taken a Destiny 3 over another extraction shooter in every multiverse. Heck dude, imagine if Bungie had actually just, I don't know, followed up on the original Marathon, which was a single player game, and given us another one of those. They have enough cool and interesting lore going on here to give us a good story. I mean, look at all this marketing for Concord, I mean Marathon. They have all these weird looking trailers with cinematic footage playing, and then you finally play the game and it's all portraits of characters on a static screen rambling on and on about things you barely care about because you know none of it matters as soon as you boot into your next extraction match. I just don't get it. Bungie is very creative as a studio, so in the words of the burnt peanut,
shut the hell up and let them work, let them cook! Let them cook or you're gonna get Call of Duty 96!
And if you haven't heard Burnt Peanut's rant, it was about how he thinks gamers should just leave Marathon alone because if we keep picking on it, then we'll probably get 90 more Call of Duty games because studios would be too scared to experiment with new ideas. And I'm just looking at this game Marathon like, there's nothing new or original about Marathon. It's sci-fi extraction shooter meets hero shooter classes. Oh, and every now and then you get a talking head giving you exposition between matches. No, we shouldn't just accept anything that the industry tries to force feed us. Oh, you put de novo into your game, essentially killing game performance for many PC gamers? Well, guess what? Pirates just cracked your game. Call of Duty puts in a lazy campaign mode that's actually pretty cringe. YouTubers mocked your game. Black Ops 7 was getting mocked so bad and so many people flooded over to Battlefield that Activision was bending over backwards just to get gamers to come back to Call of Duty. And they were including all kinds of changes that fans were complaining about over the years, like removing skill-based matchmaking. You see what happens when gamers actually voice their opinions and act on it? They get a response. We voice our opinions about Marathon, we voice our opinions about Concord and Highguard, and guess what? 2 of those games are no longer with us. And that's scary, isn't it? A game you might have put so many hours into, or perhaps even bought the microtransactions for, just suddenly one day getting the plug pulled because player numbers were too low. Oops, sorry, you can't play this anymore. The studio gave up on it. You know what happens when Resident Evil Requiem's player numbers go down? Nothing. I can still play it whenever I want to. Its existence doesn't hinge on maintaining a certain player count or filling some executive's pockets. And this is something Sony used to pride themselves over. Handcrafted single-player experiences with the occasional multiplayer tacked on. But now, they're going full live service. Full speed ahead with microtransactions to milk their fans dry instead of making them cry like they used to. And to that I say, no, we're not gonna just let them cook, because we don't want Concord number 90. Anyway, you've been listening to me ramble if you made it this far, so consider hitting the like button. This is RageWatch, and I'm out. Thanks for watching.